I'm going to be reading from my book, Because. I don't know if you get this flipping background. Right. Because, and I will actually start with Because, actually. That probably makes the most sense. It's the last poem in the book. And it's only literally 5 lines. And Because
It froze. You're gonna come back on and the phone's gonna be done.
speak to them, tell them I've frozen. Can you
You're
hear me?
back now.
I'm back. I'm like, Millie, bring me your phone now. And Millie's like, what? No. I don't know what it takes, man. I don't know what it takes. We're that generation where your mum went like this and you moved, or you're gonna get this. They're the generation where I go, come on, come on, come on, and they just move so slow. Anyway, I love you girls. Thank you for supporting us tonight on here. So reset new beginnings for me personally is an important theme because am I still frozen or you got me? You got me. Okay. Yeah, it's an important theme to me because I went through a very difficult time. Very, very difficult time. And I think one of the things that I want to say clearly is at my lowest point when I was going through what I considered to be the dark night of the soul, one of the things that really resonated with me was there was a lot of stuff that I was reading around you attract who you are and all this. And I was like, well, who I've attracted in my life, I've got some good people. And they're in here now. And this group here is yet another reflection of that. So if this is who I attract into my world, I'm all right, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just have to go through things. And what I've learned is that, you know, that whole thing about life being a school and it being a series of lessons, and you have to learn the lesson or it's going to keep repeating. I've seen that in my life, you know, and it's not as everybody said, it's not that you're a bad person. You know, some of the strong, I believe that some of the strongest spirits endure some of the biggest tests. So that homeless person on the side of the road, that, you know, they might be in the spiritual world one of the mightiest. So this poem here is called Midlife Rises. I'm an 80s child. I was born in 1979. Um, and I do suffer with future shock that 19 Keys talks about. I definitely suffer with that. There's so many times when I was in my dark night of the soul where I was like, I just want to go back to when there was no CCTV, no smartphones. Do you know what I mean? Where I can go about my business and there's not somebody with a phone there that could be recording me in secret, or a camera on my computer watching me, or Amazon listening to me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff where I heart back to the olden days, but the olden days weren't as good as we think. Midlife rises. Life begins at 40, 80s child, loads of money, mansions, fast cars, superstar, have it all. You, my princess, shall go to the ball. Unless you're brown, then you'll clean it up. Social, NHS, drive the bus. Unless you're black, glass ceilings for you will never crack. In fact, don't look up, eyes to the ground. You are not enough. Different times then, in lots of ways. Stuff all over garbage bins, landfills, choking fish. Same minds now in lots of ways. Stuff all over, cycled sins, life's ills, choking a wish. Age appropriately, do not swear. See it all, then ignore. Grin and bear. The weight of the world, the weight of the world, the pace of the world had me scared. Not no more. I've endured, drank fine wine laced with poison, and vomited on the floor. Took the pains in my neck and my back. Don't forget, in my hands and my heart, my head was a fog. I've endured. Now in midlife, I rise. Years are too simple for these new spiritual vibes. I've endured and I have pride. No value in deprecating me, telling myself lies. For I am glorious. I am victorious. I am a fractal of this universe of sound. I sing in chorus. I am harmonious. I rebuke laborious tasks, reject the vibes that don't match. I dance. Life begins at 40. I realize this is true. For all the dark led to the light. I am now brand new. That's Midlife Rises. I think that self-love is underestimated. I think that self-love is something that we say, something that I said, thinking I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't. And the universe, the Most High, showed me in Technicolor what real self-love is. And real self-love is boundaries, and your health is your wealth. Taking the time, really doing what you want to do. You know, have a sleep if you want to have a sleep, read a book if you want to read a book. What I learned again was that whatever I do, it's all right. The world doesn't fall apart if you take a week off to look after yourself. There are bigger forces at work that are going to protect and guide you. So this piece here is called Contrast, and this is again from my book, Be Cause. At the peak, I lay low with little air, my lungs compressed, empty crisp packets, face down and full of fear. All the angles like dominoes, starting small, then increased in flow, stumbling, wondering, how's this so? Eventually, my knees took buckle, sand castles crumbled, and the sky went dark. I cried a lot of the time. Into the black place, the quest was mine. Somehow I'd stumbled in a way I'd not seen, into memories and people, places I've been. Dark and light, the same side. Delusions operational, creating false divides. I now know, as above, so below. Contrast is the seasoning for life. It's how we grow. To see oneself reflected in the health of our emotions forms a mirror where notions can be challenged and life becomes more clear. Be like water. We all learn the quote. Float light and sting hard. Woke don't mean dope. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This, my sweet, we know. Learn from mistakes. Always keep pace. For life's a school and a show. So that's Contrast. As above, so below. Yes, so may. So yeah, I mean, what does that mean? As above, so below as well. I think there's a lot of concepts that are out there, spiritual concepts that we don't actually really know what it means. And does anyone want to chime in, or shall I just keep talking?
As far as so above, so below,
Yes, please.
I'm firm in that one, as so above, so below, because that to me translates so many different ways. You know, imagine, like, to put it in a way, right? Imagine if you believe in the universe, right, and you believe in universal laws. To me, that's so above. There's universal laws. You kind to others, what you do to others will happen to you, like cause and effect, all of those things, like universal laws. That's above. As so above, so below. I feel like below, like we're the reflection of that. We're below, but it's the same. So you have universal. It's kind of hard for me to explain. There's universal laws, and there's the laws that we go by that are universal. But we are the micro version of. So I'm gonna give you an example because I just confused everybody I know. Let me give you an example.
You're doing good.
As so above, so below. If you I should have thought about a good example because I'm gonna scramble for an example and I don't want to give a bad one. Uh Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you a good example. So give me 1 second. Give me one
I'm going to
second.
keep talking while we give you a second. As within, so without. So one of the ways that I interpret it as well is, and we talk about this. We all met in a book club, and we're in a group, a high level club, and we talk about these things. And what we're reading the Kabbalion at the moment, and that's about, everything is mental. Everything starts from the mental, and if you don't imagine it, if you can't see it in your mind, that's how it starts. Everything, every creation, whether it's this roll of tape or this poem that I just wrote, it all starts as within, so without. We are creating this external world through our thoughts, our imaginations, and our words. Why are you looking at me like that, Tone?
Because I'm scrambling to find the words and you did you know it already or you just didn't you wanted somebody else to say it, I guess. I'm sitting there scrambling for exactly that. Like it
Yeah.
what you put out, what you because it's macro. So it's just like because to me, as so below is like cause and effect to me. Because
Yeah.
that's when I wrote it in the book. Like that is how I link those two together as above, so below. Cause and effect. Anything you do on a micro level, it happens on a macro level, and vice versa. And it could seem like karma, when it comes back, or but it's really just a reflection of what you putting out. But you said it. I'm saying in a more complicated beat around the words, trying to find the right words, but you said it already. As so below, as above, so below, to me is the same as cause and effect. It's the same thing as what you put out is what you get back. To me, it's the same exact thing. It means the same
How do
thing.
you let's hear Emmanuel. Emmanuel, sorry.
No, I'm also thinking about that other half that you said, as without, so within. So when we look out in the night sky at the cosmos and everything, you could also see that when you close your eyes, it's not just darkness. When I close my eyes, I see things that shimmer and shine. So even on a scientific level, when they study our insides, they say it reflects the constellations. So
That's good too. That's another big
that's what I
point
was
too.
taking from it.
That's a big point too. That's a good point.
Adriana. Thank you, Emmanuel.
That's a good point too.
Adriana.
Just to add on to everybody's points, I think there's also, well, I personally have experienced it. I think there's an element of what you think can also come to fruition. So there's a level of mentalism to it. So if you are constantly beating yourself up externally, your life is going to beat you up. If you start to build yourself up and start to pour good energy into the world and into people, it will bounce back to you. It's like a boomerang. Literally, everything that affects you in a certain way is going to come back to you in a certain way.
Mhm.
Say if you spend half of your life as a criminal, but you decide to change your life, you can't expect your life to completely shift in 2 seconds. You're going to get that karma back. But if you keep, you know, putting positive pillars in front of you, the more positive your lifespan will be, and the more positive your outlook will be. And honestly, you kind of glow. I've heard that a lot, and all of my people in this room are glowing right now. Like things like that, like just keep spreading that magic, and the magic will come back to you. I
Absolutely.
think that's as above, so below. It can be magical, or it can be hell. One or the other.
Mhm.
There is no in between.
Absolutely. Thank you, Adriana. Yeah, and I think, it is we are in this space now of a reawakening and a uplifting, an elevation. you know, consciousness has changed. A lot of these things we were put to sleep on, and some of them have been obscured, and they exist within religion in different ways. Some religions give it to us much more purely, and I think I'm not going to go into religion. Actually, shut your mouth, Caroline, because I'm not religious, so I'm not going to start talking about any religion. How does this relate to reset new beginnings? It relates in the sense of manifestation, as you said, Ava, and that we create our reality. It isn't a matter of going out into this 3D world and trying to manipulate things and manipulate people. We have to go inside of ourselves and focus our minds and vision what it is we want, and then take steps towards it. That is really how you will effectively reset and have new beginnings. And to close my set and pass over back to Synthonia now for a movement break, I would just say one thing that I know I've done, and I'm sure most people in this room have done, knowing how you move, is I've tested it. So I've gone, all right, then, if this is what it is, you test the spiritual world and you go, I'm going to vision this, I'm going to try this, and you know, the magic that happens when you test it. And I saw your post, Ava, today, where you were saying that's why the Most High laughs at your plans, because I'm here doing this event and I had no plan for it. Everybody knows I did not have a plan. I came into the group not wanting to make no friends, not trying to talk to nobody, became friends with these beautiful people, formed these relationships. Now I'm running this event, which again, I tried my best to not run, and somehow I've ended up running it. So, you know, and I'm having the best time doing it. Honestly, I absolutely love it. So the Most High will take you where you need to go if you have the vision and the desire for it. So that's me for now, and I'll hand back over to Synthonia. The piece I was going to share, which is called Just Us, is about resetting a new beginnings in terms of romantic relationships. But I'm going to leave that for next month, because next month we're going to look at intimacy, and intimacy in the true sense of the word. So not just in terms of man and woman, but intimacy from all angles. I won't bother saying any more than that, because you all know what I mean. So this, which I forgot I wrote, my book has got poems, and then at what I realized was what would serve me well is to write little essays to go with each poem, because I know what I mean, but I think as artists sometimes we're like, this is what I mean, and like people are supposed to get it, and them not getting it is, what's the point of your art then? You know, they need to get it. So you can be abstract, I believe, but sometimes you also need to give a bit of clarity. So I'm going to share this one instead, which I think is just as relevant to new beginnings, and it's called Trust in Me. Courage can bring guilt, as can cowardice. I stand in the face of adversity, then get vexed when I can't get out. Tell them about themselves. Speak when there's no one else. Righteously indigniting fires in jars that sit on shelves. Trust me, you can. Trust in me. Though I can't peer through walls, I can see. Trust me, you can. Trust in me. For whatever it is you choose to believe, that is who I'll be. So that goes back to, I'm going to read the little essay, that it's only a short couple of paragraphs, but that goes back to Immanuel's t-shirt last time. And one of the key things I've learned personally about spirituality and this realm is everything. It's the quantum bit, you know, and it's hard to get your head around if you go too deep into it. But the bottom line is, it's what you look at and what you believe. And you will jump timelines, jump reality, depending on your set of beliefs and what you see when you look at things. It's perception is key. So this poem is simply my way of saying, can you trust yourself? Our society promotes opinions and sharing your opinions, shouting loudly about what's right and wrong. No judgment in this. I have lots to say about lots of things. Equally, I don't care either. That's a choice, and it's really about remembering that choice for me. Sometimes the opinion will drastically change. Sometimes life throws some things to make you swerve and fall in the position of a new perspective. I think we can trust ourselves, our higher self. I'm hesitant about where I place my trust externally. That doesn't mean I go around expecting people to do a madness. More like I do what I can these days to search for a new perspective or deeper understanding. People will falter or not even falter, do things I don't inner or overstand. I regard myself as trustworthy, but I wouldn't want to tell somebody to trust me. That would be foolish. Whatever it is we see, however we decipher the circumstances, people, stories, is the reality we choose to live in. Simples. Times in my life where I was optimistic and walked in true courage, great things happened. Conversely, the negative experiences coincided with negative self-talk, and then this became a cycle, like a vortex that I was getting sucked into. It took some time for me to really accept in the core of me the truth that my view of things was coloring or clouding things way more than I'd realized. Also, saying strong opinions out loud in the negative times is probably not the best thing to do. Going back to Immanuel's tune. Righteously indigniting fires in jars that sit on shelves. I trust that we beings will be true to our nature. Beyond that, I trust in the Most High. And I think that goes back down as well. Thank you, guys. To we live in this age of just, you don't have to actually do anything, you just pretend. And again, this is a room of doers. And my friends who are in here from outside of this group, they do things, real things in real life to change lives. You know, when you put a black square on Instagram to say you support, it don't mean nothing. You know, it's just this, I am this and I declare I'm this and I'm going to show you I'm this and I'm going to, and I've been guilty of it myself at times. But I think the truth is, if you're not going to do something about something, don't pay attention to it. If you're not going to take action against that war or that injustice or that child trafficking or whatever it is, then just take your eyes off it, because what's the point? And I think that's something we have to be aware of in the world that we live in as well, is what we're looking at, because we will lose our sanity if we look up. We can focus on all the negative all day long and just kill ourselves because we can't actually do anything about it. So that's why I love this kind of thing, what we're doing here, because it's positive, it's loving, it's connected, we're inspiring each other, and it is action. And on that note, that is the end of the night, and we are sincerely grateful for you all in real time. And if I can ask for the artists to hang back again like last time, and give thanks and gratitude to everybody that joined us. We truly appreciate you, truly and sincerely, for taking two hours out of your day to support us and listen to what we're doing.